Oh yes, you guys know what time it is. We are talking about the Xenomorph on today's episode of the Anatomy of Gaming. Now, the Xenomorph has always been a big part of my life. I maybe was a little bit too young to watch Aliens, but hey, that's one of my favorite movies of all time. So today we will be looking back at all the past video game models of the Xenomorph, right in time for the Aliens new video game. By the way, this video is not sponsored. Y'all gotta pay me. Let's get into it. We have the Xenomorph here from 2000's PlayStation 1 game of Alien Resurrection. Now, I never really watched the third movie of Aliens, right? It was Aliens 1, and James Cameron came in with the big boot and knocked it out the park with Aliens 2. So I never really bothered with watching the sequels. And right here we have the newborn Xenomorph that I wanted to showcase today. Now you can tell this is a PlayStation 1 video game because just look at the poly count here. 596 polygons. Now that is old school as it gets. You can even see just the blockiness, but hey, it was the early 2000s and video games was starting to break into the world of 3D, so I'll give it a break. Up next, we got the 2003 video game of Alien vs. Predator 2. Do not get that confused with that awful movie that came out in 2007, the movie where you could barely see anything going on. This is Alien vs. Predator on the PC from 2003, and you guys can pretty much see this model here of the Xenomorph is all texture, but little to no polygons. But then again, it is a pretty nice upgrade from the previous model we've seen on the PlayStation 1, with only about 500 or so polygons, with this one being 1,538 polygons. Pretty decent jump, pretty good. Now, one thing that I believe I have said before is that one thing that a 3D model of a video game is, the polygons can be fantastic, but the texturing needs to be on point, and that is what we have here. Just look at the detail on this Xenomorph here. Everything from the tail to all the ridges, the bones showing up on his mesh. This is a finely tuned, greatly detailed Xenomorph, and the artists that have worked on this game, those group of men and women did a fantastic job of doing the most with the little hardware and resources they had. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen, in 2005 with, shockingly, not a Xenomorph or an Aliens video game featuring the Xenomorph. Here we have Predator Concrete Jungle, released on the PlayStation 2, and honestly, this is a pretty decent jump from the PlayStation 1 game that we saw previously before. Right here we have a polygon count of 1,318, and really, you could say that the model is starting to look a little bit better, if at least not like polygon-wise, but at least texture-wise. Pretty much here we see a lot of good detail here, but you have to understand, with the video game of Predator Concrete Jungle, most of the game, or some of it, takes place in the dark, or in sci-fi creepy hallways, so really you won't really see all this detail on the Xenomorph, but it's fantastic. We see the little bumps on the tail, the little bones featuring there. Everything is looking pretty fantastic on this Xenomorph, I have to say. Great work from the artist who worked on the Xenomorph. Artist, I should say, plural. Here we are, guys, looking at the Xenomorph called the Lurker from the 2013 Xbox game of Aliens Colonial Marines. And just look at this monster here. No. Actually, look at him right there. If I seen this Xenomorph standing over me, or if I seen this thing while walking down a dark alley, let me tell you something. My breakfast, just on the floor. My dinner, just on the floor. Late night Taco Bell. My body just cleaned out. Because I know for a fact there is no way I'm going to survive my encounter with this beast. If this Xenomorph, if this version of the Xenomorph was in the first Aliens movie, the movie would only be about 5 minutes long. Because this Xenomorph here looks like he does not play games. And neither does his polygon count. 10,769 polygons. Now we are going to enter into the world of the next generation, or the next gen of 2013, because there's about maybe like two more next gen consoles after this one that we are going to look at. So, ladies and gentlemen, sit back and just look at this monstrosity of a monster. Alright, the person that worked on the concept art and the 3D model in creating this beast here, along with the texture artist, you guys, just round of applause. Just amazing. Scary. Absolutely terrifying. When I tell you guys, I would fight the world to prove that Aliens Isolation is one of the best Aliens video games ever made, I would do it in a heartbeat. Seriously, I mean, when I got my PlayStation 3, or really when I got my Xbox, because this is what I played it on, when I tell you, like, this was my whole life, playing this at night, just like the week it came out. That was me. This game was like awesome, dude. And just look at the polygon count on this one. 10,769 polygons right here. I mean, if you guys want to know how awesome this game was when it came out, go on YouTube after you like, share, and subscribe on my video here. Thank you very much. Go on YouTube and look up some old gameplay footage of Aliens Isolation. You guys will see how much this game was loved by the fans. It was absolutely amazing. And just look at how long that tail is. Okay, this Xenomorph could do some action with that tail. Right here, we have the alien, the Xenomorph from Mortal Kombat X on the PlayStation 4, the 2015 model here. And right now, what I'm really seeing is, like, legit, the evolution of some good 3D polygons coming of age. And right here, we have the Xenomorph featuring, for the first time in this list, I believe, of the use of normal maps. Now, normal maps are really what gives the Xenomorph and other characters those little bumps, the grooves, the texturing of the skin outside of just color. All those fine details are featured in this model here. Look at his rib cage and just look at that tail. The tails in the previous game needed to use some texturing tricks to get those actual bumps and bruises in there. Well, bumps and grooves, I should say. But right here, with the advances of technology and the console system, we are able now to sculpt all those details in. No need for any backwards texturing work. So this Xenomorph here really is my favorite design of all the video games of his. Here we are with the PC model of the Xenomorph from the video game Fortnite. Now, I'm sure everybody knows what Fortnite is, but honestly, even though I know what Fortnite is, I really don't know what it's doing. I mean, we have a game where the Xenomorph is in the same video game as Batman and Darth Vader. Fortnite is just amazing. It truly is. And so is this model here, even though it doesn't follow the realistic style of Mortal Kombat X. This stylized version of the Xenomorph is just as terrifying. If anything, I kinda do like the more grayer look instead of the more brown weathered look of the Xenomorph from the previous game that we covered. This Xenomorph here is sitting at a polygon count of 67,684 polygons. Something I noted before is just look at all the sculpted detail on the Xenomorph here. From the ridges in his tail, the bones sticking out, the rib cage, looking at his skull and seeing all the fine translucent look of what could be his eyes, the hollowed out skull. I mean, this is a pretty darn good Xenomorph right here, guys. Like, this is top tier. Let me tell you something, guys, that was quite the adventure, wasn't it? Everybody, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It really does mean a lot to me. Also, comment down below on what you guys think about the new release of the Aliens game, because I don't have the money yet to buy it, so I'll just have to take you guys' word on that. Thank you guys, and as always, from Lyco Freaks, keep it moist.